So when you start looking at converting strength to power, the conversion from strength to power takes 3 weeks. And so when you're going through that conversion, we're no squatting, no heavy lifting, because we're trying to take strength and make it fast. And you're going to have a hard time doing that, doing heavy weight. So we look at, this is where we start to introduce jumping exercises to peak. Now, also to put this in context, right? We're talking about peaking the vertical jump test, or peaking someone's ability to vertical jump. So,
right.
You know, that where I'm going to peak is going to depend on how often this athlete has to start jumping. So if I know they're not going to start jumping December 1st at all, or with practice, or if they're not on the court doing drills, then we can, you know, that's where we're going to start peaking that jump at the time they have to start doing that skill.
Okay.
So you're, you know, when you're starting to program for peaking, it doesn't always, what you're peaking, doesn't always coincide with, you know, the first practice or the beginning of the season, right? Because a good athlete is going to be doing stuff not with their team, right? Like we've, you know, the pro athletes that come to the rack, especially basketball players, are always on the court doing something, whether it be, you know, drills or something, right? Or pick up. Right. So the amount of jumping I'm going to do is going to have to be varied with that. And when we look at the type of jumping, right, the 2 most common types are going to be a barbell on back squat jump and then a snatch grip jump. So through my assessments, and, you know, every workout is an assessment. It's not just test on day 0 and then start training on day 1. Every rep, every workout, every set should be an assessment for you as a coach on your program and your athlete. So as I'm going through these phases, these exercises, like the type of jump I'm going to do is going to be determined by what's weak. And that's where we go back to some of the structural numbers,
right?
Where you can start to compare your front squat to your back squat to your deadlift, right? Like you should be able to front squat and seated good morning the same weight for the same sets and reps, right? As a good test of leg strength and posterior chain strength. So if I know, one, if I don't have the mobility to do a proper seated good morning, well, there's a problem in my posterior chain, right?
Right.
So again, that's gonna take precedence. So you may have instances where you're not converting strength to power to peak. So you know, if my peak exercise is snatch grip deadlift, that's not going to be a power exercise. I'm gonna be peaking general strength. So it's very important to take this information and apply it to everyone's N. You know, N equals 1. Just because they're a basketball player doesn't mean they should be peaking power at the end of a 12-week block or 6-week block or whatever your training progression is.
Right.